Imagine the world as a grand chessboard with empires rising and falling at the sweep of a hand. Now picture a single man moving the pieces, a man with an ambition as vast as the empire he commanded. This man was none other than Napoleon Bonaparte, a name that echoed through the annals of history, not just as a conqueror, but as an unwitting architect of modern Europe. But how, you might wonder, did a Corsican general weave the very fabric of the nations we know today? Welcome, dear viewers, to a tale of turmoil and transformation, where the fates of nations are forged in the fire of conflict and the ink of diplomacy. Our story begins with a resounding clap of thunder. The war of the Second Coalition against revolutionary France, a clash of titans that would shake the very foundations of the old world. In the wake of the gunpowder haze and the clashing armies, two treaties emerged that would redraw the boundaries of power: the Treaty of Lunéville in 1801 and the Treaty of Amiens in 1802. These were not mere documents of surrender and peace. They were the chisels with which Napoleon sculpted a new European landscape. In the grand theater of European power, the year 1801 stands as a crossroads, a moment in time where the relentless march of history pauses to catch its breath. It is a year that witnessed the crumbling of ancient regimes, the fall of gilded crowns, and the dramatic rise of an empire centered on the will of one man, Napoleon Bonaparte. It is in this year that the Treaty of Luneville unfurls like a battle standard, heralding a new epoch. Austria, weary from the relentless tide of revolutionary fervor, is compelled to retreat, to draw back from the rich tapestries of northern Italy and the strategic depths of the Rhineland. But let us not be mistaken. This is no mere territorial conquest, no simple redrawing of maps. This is a revolution of a grander scale, one that reaches into the heart of culture, identity, and governance. The Treaty of Luneville is Napoleon's masterstroke, a strategic maneuver that redefines power, not through the sword's edge, but through the promise of Enlightenment ideals. Within the fertile valleys where the Po River weaves a silver thread through the verdant landscape, and in the historic cities of Italy, where the echoes of ancient Rome still linger, a profound transformation takes root. Here, the Italian states, long pawns in the great game of European politics, find themselves at the heart of a Napoleonic chessboard. It is a board where kings and dukes are moved with a tactical genius that respects neither tradition nor lineage. Napoleon's vision is one of order, efficiency, and modern governance. Under his influence, the jigsaw puzzle of Italian principalities began to envision a united whole. Nationalism, a sentiment as potent as any battalion, begins to awaken among the people. It is in the shadow of Napoleonic codes and the wings of the French eagle that ideas of unity, self-determination, and collective identity start to germinate. As the dreams of a united Italy begin to take shape, the seeds sown by the Treaty of Luneville, watered by the ambition of a Corsican-born emperor, and nurtured by the aspirations of the Italian people, promise to yield a future where the peninsula will no longer be a chessboard for foreign kings, but a sovereign realm unto itself. This is the legacy of Luneville, a promise of a nation yet to be born, a canvas awaiting the brushstrokes of Garibaldi and Cavour, the architects of a unified Italy. The Treaty of Luneville, then, is far more than a footnote in the annals of warfare. It is the sculptor's chisel that begins to chisel the form of modern Italy from the marble of its fragmented past. In the unfolding drama of the Napoleonic era, the year 1802 emerges as an interlude, a brief respite in the relentless rhythm of war that had pulsed through Europe's veins. The Treaty of Amiens ushers in this period of calm, a fragile truce between the British Empire, the sea-bound Leviathan, and Napoleonic France, the land's new colossus. It is a moment of such profound stillness that Europe holds its breath, for peace, as history whispers, is often but a prelude to storms to come. Yet within this pause, a remarkable thing happens. The British lion, the emblem of a global empire on which the sun never sets, and the Gallic rooster, crowing for the dawn of a new age, find common ground. The cannons fall silent, and soldiers, weary from campaigns across unforgiving terrains, look homeward. In this hush, the spirit of the French Revolution, undimmed and defiant, continues its march. It sweeps through the streets of the Batavian Republic, where the Dutch have cast off the shackles of old oligarchies, igniting a fervor for self-governance and civic liberty. It echoes through the halls of the Austrian Netherlands, a territory accustomed to the Habsburg scepter, now pulsating with the heartbeat of revolution. It is a spirit that cannot be contained by borders nor quelled by the might of armies. This spirit, this alluring call to reform, enlightenment, and liberty, becomes a chorus that resonates not just through palaces and parliaments, but in the hearts of common folk. It brings with it the principles of egalitarianism, the rule of law, and the sanctity of the individual, ideas revolutionary in their simplicity, yet profound in their impact. These ideas will outlive regimes and rulers. They will become the bedrock of future constitutions and the guiding light of emergent democracies. And so, in this fleeting era of peace, the seeds of modern Europe are sown. From the cobblestone streets of Amsterdam to the burgeoning salons of Brussels, from the town squares of Antwerp to the open fields of Flanders, a vision for a continent reborn takes shape. These ideas, once unleashed, proved to be as potent as any army Napoleon could muster. The Treaty of Amiens, then, offers more than a mere pause in conflict. It provides a canvas for the proliferation of a new societal order. The ideals of the Revolution, once confined to France, now find fertile ground in the Low Countries, setting the stage for the flourishing of liberalism, for national awakenings, and for the eventual rise of sovereign nations from the vestiges of feudal lands. These lands, under the aegis of France, absorbed the very essence of the Revolution, liberalism and national sovereignty, whispers of which would grow into the roars of independence movements and revolutions to come. The Batavian Republic would eventually re-emerge as the innovative, progressive Netherlands. At the same time, the Austrian Netherlands would transform into Belgium, a country that would carve its own unique identity in the heart of Europe. Napoleon's legacy is like a grand tapestry, one in which each thread is a decree, a battle, or a treaty that rewove the fabric of a continent. His shadow looms not as a specter of tyranny, but as the silhouette of a master strategist and legislator stretching across the Europe we traverse today. This is a shadow that does not darken the lands it touches, but illuminates them with the indelible marks of modern statecraft. Consider the maps spread out on a student's desk, the contours of nations that seem as natural as the mountains and rivers they encompass. These borders were once drawn by the hand of the Corsican Titan, each line a narrative of conquest or concession. They tell a story of a Europe transitioning from the feudal patchwork of the old regimes to the organized states of the present. And then, there are the flags, each a patch of color and symbol that ripple not just with the wind, but with the pride and identity of the nations they represent. These emblems wave in a Europe that Napoleon never saw completed, but helped to conceptualize. His was a vision of a continent where people were bound not by the feudal allegiances of old, but by the more abstract yet profound notions of nationhood and collective destiny. His hand in history was indeed one of force, reshaping Europe through a series of unending campaigns, but more lastingly, it was a hand that penned a new chapter in the annals of governance and law. The Napoleonic Code, the administrative reforms, the rationalization of the state, all these were ideas that transcended the man and the era to become the cornerstone upon which modern Europe was built. Napoleon's influence is thus an enduring legacy, etched not only in the lines of national borders, but in the unspoken tales of a continent reborn from the ashes of the Ancien regime. It's a legacy that sees past the tumult of war and revolution to a vision of a reorganized, rational Europe, a legacy that still reverberates in the halls of power, in the streets of its cities, and in the pulse of a continent that continues to evolve under the long shadow of one of history's most renowned figures. As we trace these invisible lines from the past into the present, remember that history is a story that is always being written, and you, the curious minds and eager learners, are a part of it. If you found this journey through the Napoleonic era fascinating, leave your thoughts and insights down below. Share this story with fellow history enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe for more glimpses into the tapestry of our past. And until next time, keep the wheels of time turning.